Welcome to Composition Studio with Dr. K. In this video, we will review how to use AI, artificial intelligence, ethically for assignments. I am using Microsoft's Copilot. The examples I'm going to show you here would be easily applicable to any other platform. So if you're using OpenAI's Chat GPT or Google's Gemini or any of the other ones, maybe you've made your own, everything I will review here can be applied to your usage elsewhere. Also, important to know, I'm not logged in. And in many of these platforms, you can use them for free. You might be limited to how many prompts you can use before you're asked to set up an account. At the institution where my students are at, they have access to Copilot, so they can log in or not log in depending on what they want to do. So I'm going to show these examples through Copilot. Just know that you could put the same prompts and examples into most other platforms. Also important to note is the date to which the video was made. As AI continually changes, some of what I'm going to show you may be very different depending on the time frame that you are watching this. So I already have the prompts placed in. I'm going to show you first an example of what not to do or how not to use AI to complete an assignment. So my prompt right up here, write a one sentence or so paraphrase of content from the article. Then I have the name of the article, cite correctly in MLA. And then you see here the response that I received from Copilot. So right here, this sentence starting with parental and then ending with this parenthetical citation right here is an example of a paraphrase from that article written by AI. If I were to, as a student, copy and paste that into an assignment to which I was asked to write a paraphrase of content from this article, that would be considered plagiarism. The student did not write that sentence, it was completely AI generated. So that would be an example of how not to use AI. But notice how the prompt that I gave AI initially was simply do this for me with no other context. And so we want to try to follow some sort of organized prompt generation to get the most benefit from whatever platform that you are using. So again, an example of how not to use AI, don't simply copy and paste what you're asked to do for the assignment and then copy and paste whatever the AI gave back to you. So we're going to look at better prompt generation. And in my courses, I use the simple PARTS acronym for prompt generation, where P stands for persona, A stands for aim, R stands for recipients, T stands for theme or tone, and then S starts with structure. But at the very least, try to tell AI who you are. And part of that is being very clear that you are a student and you need this for an assignment. So I'm going to add that prompt. In this example, I am a college student enrolled in whatever class that you might be enrolled in, who needs to show an example of a paraphrase from an article I am using in my research paper. The citation needs to be in MLA. I'm not sure if I have made a good paraphrase or cited correctly. Give me some suggestions without rewriting the example for me. So here I'm telling AI who I am, what I need, and I'm asking it for suggestions and specifically not to rewrite it for me. That way the information I get is going to be more educational rather than the AI doing the assignment for me, which again can lead to plagiarism, somewhat intentional in this case. And so I gave AI the example that I have right now for my paraphrase. And I'm not sure if it's correct or not because I'm a student and I'm still learning. And here is the content that I am getting back. So it's going to start with, because I asked it for some suggestions, it's going to give me some suggestions on how to write a paraphrase. And I'm not going to go through and read all of this to you, but the importance is to look through the information that AI gives you because it might not be accurate. in my instruction to students about the use of AI, one of the most important aspects is the first one I list, is to make sure that you review the information you're getting from AI and make sure it's accurate. So this would be where you need to pair the instruction you're getting from AI with the instruction that you're getting from your instructor or another tutor or your textbook or content pages in your course if you're taking an online course. But it's going to give me some education, and all that is really great. And then some MLA suggestions. And in this case, I had purposely written in what I knew was an incorrect paraphrase. And so I had used an author last name followed by et al. And et al. In MLA is used when a source has 3 or more authors, but this article only has 2 authors. So in that case, I need to cite both authors' names. So it's giving me a nice suggestion there to be correct. I also had incorrectly used past tense verb, whereas MLA cites using present tense verbs. So it's going to tell me that I don't need stated. And MLA also doesn't use the little P period before a page number. So it's showing me that. It's not telling me exactly why it was wrong specifically, but it's still giving some good information that as a student, I would suggest you pair with the instruction that you're getting from your course. So in that case, it did not tell me exactly how to pair. It didn't give me a paraphrase that I would have to copy and paste, but it's telling me how I can correct or fix, improve what I had as a paraphrase so that it's more correct when I submit it for an assignment. And so in that way, I'm sort of using AI as a tutor to help supplement instruction rather than to do the assignment for me. And so along that note, again, don't use AI to do the assignment for you. Some very purposeful prompt generation can help you avoid that. But you can use AI as a tutor. Just again, you want to make sure the information that you're getting is correct and that the AI isn't doing an assignment for you and that you're not taking that and submitting it as your own work. So again, we still want to use prompt generation if we're using AI as a tutor. So in this prompt, I again state I'm a college student. I'm enrolled in whatever the class is that you're enrolled. I'm telling AI what I need to do. In this case, it's a 10-page research paper, and I need to cite an APA. I'm telling AI what I need. As a student, I'm saying I'm not familiar with AI citation. I don't know how to integrate content from my sources into my paper. I don't know how to cite an APA either. In this case, give me some exercises on how to learn how to integrate and cite an APA. So at this point, I'm not even getting ready to work on the paper. I just want to know how to do it as a student. And so again, I'm going to get some education from AI about APA citation. Ideally, you're getting this instruction in the classroom or within your textbooks. Again, this would be considered supplemental instruction to what you're already learning in your courses. The best course of action is to always ask your instructor, because what you're getting from AI may not be accurate to begin with. And even if it is accurate, it may not actually relate to an assignment that you're asked to do. So we're getting some suggestions here. So it's a nice, here's an error. See if you can find out what's wrong with it. That gives you some practice. And then AI is going to give you whatever the correct answer would be. But again, you really need to double check this. So right here, it has a hint that APA doesn't require P for page numbers and in-text citations unless you're quoting directly. That is correct. You don't need to cite page numbers in APA if you're paraphrasing. But if you are going to cite page number, you still need to have the little P beforehand. And so that instruction there is a little bit confusing. And even then, there are going to be some instructors in some courses where if you're citing an APA, even if you're paraphrasing rather than quoting, they want you to cite that page number because they want to make sure that you know exactly where you got that information from. So this would be a case where you really want to read things correctly and then pair it with the instruction that you're getting from your course. And then again, double check that it matches the instructions that you're getting from that specific instructor. And I'm not going to read through all of these exercises here because it would be very specific to what a student is looking for, but you get the idea of how you can use AI as a tutor to help you learn information or supplement information that you need for a course. And so here again would be another example. I am telling AI who I am. I'm a college student. I'm writing a research paper in MLA format. I have a quality course, but I don't know how to generate the works cited entry. here's what I have. I'm asking the AI if it's correct or not. So in this case, this MLA, what's supposed to be an MLA works cited entry, is not correct. I know it's not correct. I purposely gave it something that was incorrect, and it's going to tell me some suggestions. So again, because I told it I was a student, it's going to give me some education first before giving me that correct answer. And that's what you want to use AI for, not to give you the answers, but to help supplement your learning. It's telling me that I need to have both authors listed instead of et al. That's correct. Title should be placed in quotation marks for MLA. That's correct. The journal title should be italicized font. That's correct. So it's giving me that education. And then at the end here, it's giving me the correct MLA entry. If you're using a institution database, your college's library database, there's usually a little cite button and you can just get the MLA entry from there. But for some reason, if you're finding a source elsewhere and you can't figure out if the citation is correct, this would be a great way to generate a works cited entry. You still need to make sure that it's correct though. So you have to have some sort of base knowledge of what an MLA works cited entry would look like to make sure that what the AI is giving you is correct, but it gives you some supplemental learning. So to review, do not use AI to complete an assignment in an educational setting or even in a work setting where you're literally asking it to do it for you. The response that you get back, the product that you get back may not be correct, and it would be considered plagiarism unless you disclose that you used AI. And if you're supposed to submit original work or an original idea, if you're using AI, then that's not what you're doing. What you can do, however, is use AI as supplemental instruction or as a tutor or as a checker. And to do that, you need to make sure that you're very careful about your prompt generation. So again, at least starting with telling AI that you're a college student. If you're using AI that's built specifically for educational purposes, it's going to assume that you're a student. But if you're using a free version of any of these platforms, I highly suggest, almost necessary, that you need to prompt with the persona, telling AI that you're a college student, what you're doing, and what you need back from it. And that aim, that what you need back from AI, try to be very purposeful that you do not want AI to do the assignment for you, to write for you, to draw for you, to generate a presentation for you. You're using it to supplement instruction or questions you have. Like whatever reason you can't do it on your own, if you're not getting the content you need from your course or your class instruction, you can supplement with AI. But you still need to go through those best practices. Are you violating any privacy by placing whatever you put in your prompt? Are you taking other students' work? Are you taking instruction? Are you instructors' content? Are you violating copyright notice? You need to be careful about privacy. You need to make sure that you're disclosing your use of AI in your assignments or telling your instructor. And you also need to check the information, because although the learning content I got back from AI in these examples was fairly correct and it was useful, some of it wasn't quite correct. So you always want to make sure that you are double checking the content you get from AI and making sure it matches what you're learning in your courses.